First, let's arrange our game screen and do a bit of preemptive housekeeping. We won't worry about the turtle, background, etc. for now. Right now we're going to create layers that will ultimately contain these objects and ensure that they appear in the right Z order. And we're going to add play and pause buttons. In our constructor class, let's create some variables. Play, which is a GUI image button. Pause, which will also be a GUI image button. And then 3 layers for our sprites. A button layer, a game layer, and a high score layer. Images, buttons, and animations in Gingy are handled by our Assets Manager, which I will explain more a bit later. But let's go over some of the advantages of using GUI image buttons. GUI image buttons are an extension of GUI elements, so have advantages such as alignments, debug mode, tooltips, auto-positioning, and component tracking built in. And of course, all of your visual assets in Gingy scale themselves to fit current device resolutions. This is done automatically. Next, in our init function, let's instantiate our screen layers. Game layer, buttons layer, and of course, high score layer. Now let's create our buttons. We'll save our sound button for a later tutorial. Create buttons. Play, which will be a new GUI image button. And it'll point to the function onPlay, which we'll create later. And the asset we're using is in our Animations Atlas. We did the same thing for our pause button. And our pause button is pointing to a pause function. Now we can add these layers as children. So we'll add the game layer, add child, and add child, high score layer, and add child buttons layer. And we can also show our play button. Let's first remove children from the buttons layer. And then let's add the child to the buttons layer, play. We remove our children first just as a safety precaution, since this is the init function and no buttons should be on the stage yet. Next we'll take advantage of Gingy's alignment tools to align the play button automatically to the center of the stage. And we'll continue to fine-tune it afterwards to have it appear exactly where we want. So play, align, equals GUI element alignment methods. And we're going to align it to the stage center in terms of its horizontal position. and we're going to position it in terms of its y using Gingy scaling factors, which makes sure the 150 number that we input will adjust itself to every screen so it appears the same. But we still need our buttons to point to actual functions. Let's go ahead and create those functions now. Our play buttons function was onPlay, and our pause buttons function was pause. So private function onPlay, and for now let's keep these functions simple. We'll flesh them out as we add elements. In our onPlay function, let's remove the play button from our buttons layer and add and align our pause button. So remove children and add child pause. Let's align the pause button using GUI element alignment methods. And let's put it in the stage bottom right, so the bottom right corner. In our pause function, we'll similarly remove the pause button and add the play button. Private function, pause, buttons layer, remove children, and add child play. Thanks for watching.